Breaking news! After arriving in Texas and losing all but one last buy-in, Biddy was able to rise like a phoenix from the ashes and run his way up to over $1,300. Will he play it safe and finish his trip comfortably in Vegas, or will he risk it all for glory? Find out on this week's episode of the Degen Diaries.
Good morning. I'm starting the day with $12.97 after I had to pay about $40 or so or $38 for time last night as I was walking out. So I guess I wasn't out for $13.14. It was a little less if you count that, because that's the rake. It should be accounted for. But heading to get some Mexican food again. I think I'm gonna go back to that same place. It was so good. I'm fiending for it. There's a free roll tournament tonight. It's a $1,000 guaranteed Omaha tournament, and they get about usually 20 or so players, and I'm thinking I have a good shot of winning that. Like, I'm very confident in my Omaha ability, and I imagine those people won't be that well studied. So that was actually my backup plan if last night went how it could have easily gone. But I'm still gonna play in it because it sounds like a lot of fun. Yes, sir. It only cost me $9 this time. I think they didn't charge me for guac and extras, so that's fire! Back at Texas Card House, they have a $1,000 guaranteed Omaha tournament that starts in a couple minutes, and I'm gonna probably win that. No, I think there's gonna be like 20 people, so I have a decent shot, but then I'm gonna play some 1-2 after. But it'd be cool to make a run in this tournament. I love Omaha tournaments and never get to play them, so hoping this goes well.
So we hop into the Omaha tournament with plans to play cash after, and everyone loves suited connectors. Well, here's the hand that I like to call double suited dub nectars. 4, 5, 9, 10, double suited. Not as amazing as it looks, because you make a flush, a lot of times someone will have a higher flush, or you make a straight, you'll be dominated by a higher straight, but still a pretty looking hand. People think in Omaha you can play way more hands because you have 4 cards, so you're going to hit a lot more flops. While that's true, there's a thing called reverse implied odds, where you're going to make weak hands that are going to end up costing you more money than you make. So we actually want to play even tighter in Omaha. Here we pick up pocket aces twice in a row, this one being with a suited king. And if you're wondering if my strategy is to just wait for aces every time,
yes.
Does this not always work out because aces are so vulnerable against 4 random cards?
Yes.
And do we end up busting out a few hands later, getting it all in pre-flop with aces against kings?
Yes.
The tournament didn't go exactly as planned, but it was a free roll, so no big deal. We hop into the 1-2 cash game for 300, and in the first notable hand, we pick up 5-4 ace 6 rainbow in the double board PLO bomb pot, and on the bottom board, we flop top boat. I check from early position, as I almost always do, and someone throws out a bet of $20. There are 2 callers, and when it gets back to me, I pot it.
Pot. I was trapping.
The player to my left repots it for about $4.50, covering my stack, and everyone else folds.
You got 2 kings?
No, I have 2 nines.
We're up against middle set on the top board, and we actually have a decent amount of backdoor straights, and when the turn comes the 2 of clubs, I now have a lot of straight draws, but the river breaks out and we chop this one up, so we make a decent little profit there. We're definitely at the fun table, and we see a straddle to $5, then a double straddle to $10. I pick up 10 jack offsuit, and on the button in position with all the dead money, we open to $20 to put some pressure on the blinds. The small blind calls, and the double straddler flicks in that extra $10, and we go 3 ways to a flop. On the flop of 8-10-2 with 2 spades, when it checks to me, I should probably throw out a bet here to deny equity from flush draws and overcards, but I check for pot control. On the very nice jack of diamonds turn, I want to start putting money into this pot, but I think either of them would have bet with any decent holding, so I size down to $25, hoping to get some calls, or maybe induce a bluff. Both players quickly make the call, and going 3 ways to the river, we hit the 10 of clubs, giving us a full house. The first player checks, and then the next to act player weirdly throws out a bet of about $60. Back to me, and I imagine if he's leading out, he probably has a pretty strong hand, maybe a 10, possibly a full house, so no other decision for me other than going all in for my last 250.
All in.
All in.
He folds and lets me know what I had in my hand. Thank you for that. And we take down another pretty big pot. Here's a little surprise for you guys. When I walked in, I saw that there was a table running of only $5 PLO double board bomb pots. And I love these. And I saw there was a wait list, and I threw my name down on the wait list just to humor myself. And after I'd played that last hand, I got called to the table. So I racked up and headed over. I had it on for $200 more, so I was in for $500 total. I think playing a little deeper favors my playstyle because I pretty much try to put my money in when it's good, so when I make big hands, I want to have enough money to really get paid off. This is one of the most gambly tables in all of Texas, and when I sat down, this tattooed guy to my right, I kid you not, in a raspy voice, he turned to me and said, "Welcome to the Asylum." Okay, well, we're definitely not terrified now, but easy to get over that when we flop top set of aces on an ace-3 queen rainbow board. On the other board, we still have the overpair of all overpairs, and we're going to try to pile in money as soon as possible. I check from early position, and there's a bet of $20. 2 callers, back to me, I pot it to about 145. The player who initially bet thinks it over for a little bit and finally decides on a call, and the other 2 players get out of the way. Turn comes the king of clubs on the top and the 5 of hearts on the bottom, and there are a few hands that would beat us on both boards, but I really don't think he'd be calling the flop with any 10-jack combinations, so with the stack to pot ratio of just about 1, I stick in the rest of my money. He quickly makes the call, which is a bit concerning, but going to a run out with over $1,000 in the pot.
Yeah, top set.
I show my hand and he says those magical words, "You're good." He had pocket 3s in his hand for bottom set, and that's the thing about these PLO bomb pots. If you get it in, even though you have a set, you just gotta be stronger than that or have something good on both boards because chances are someone's got the nuts on either board.
Man, that's gonna help that gas tank.
That's what I'm saying. I might be able to afford a room tonight.
Oh, damn.
Super quick, guys, leave a comment if you would like to win half the trip's potential profits. I'm picking a winner every single video, and they will battle against me for it all. Congrats to Mike Hand, Golden God. Leave a comment, and we will get you sorted out. Thank you. Let's get back into the video. In this next hand, we have 4, 10, 6, 6, and the top board comes king 10, 10. So we make trips. We only have a 6 kicker, and on the bottom board, we don't really have anything going on. Action checks around on the flop, and I probably would have called a small bet, but I would definitely be treading cautiously. Imagine the absolute ideal turn on both boards. What would that be? We spike a 6 on the bottom board and quad 10s on the top. We now have a set and quads. We are going for all the money now. It checks to me and I bet $20. I am crossing my fingers for action. My mouth is watering and everyone's folding, but we do actually get 1 call. Heads up to a river and I could care less what the 2 cards are. I am potting it regardless. He checks to me and I do that. I pot it for about $80 and he quickly folds, unfortunately. We have the absolute world and we get no action for it, but that's okay. Let's get right to the next hand. Things are going our way. Our stack's over $1,200 now, and we're playing our game, playing patiently, and that patience is rewarded when we pick up pocket aces with a 4 and a 6 along with it with nut diamonds. Having a nut suit is extremely important as it gives you way more playability on these boards. We flop decently well. We have the nut flush draw on the top board, and we also have a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw on the bottom board. Action checks around, and we do not hit our flush, but we do spike top set on the bottom board. Action checks to me and I pot it. Just in case you're not familiar, this is pot limit Omaha where the most you can ever bet is the price of the pot. So we throw out a bet of $45. This time we get 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, 4 callers on the turn. The run good continues when we make the nut flush on the top board and the 10 of spades on the bottom board doesn't change that much, although I do lose to king jack. Back on me and I pot it for $270.
Pot.
270.
Someone please pay me off. Nope. 1 by 1, everyone lays it down, and we take this one down without a showdown.
$50. All right, everybody, we're gonna do a race horse. There are rules to this game. Don't look at the cards. If you do, your tip's mine, or your bet's my tip. Thank you very much. Everyone's in though. Easiest way to turn $25 into 200 something, right?
So since I'm at the degenerate table, I convince everyone to do a $25 racehorse where pretty much everyone puts $25 in the middle. Everyone gets 4 cards. They deal out 1 board and you reveal the cards one by one, and whoever has the best hand takes the pot. The board comes down 6 queen 2 7. We save 1 card for the grand finale, and I'm first to act. I flip over a 7 of clubs, putting me in the lead. Since I'm in the lead, it goes to the next person, and he flips over cards until he has me beat. He takes the lead with a 7, and to the next person, they take the lead with 2 pairs, 6 and queen.
I need a friend. Queen 6 in the lead. Deuce.
Oh, 2 pair of queens and 6.
Helps a little bit. That he needs a friend with that.
I got queens and 7s.
Ace still alive. Let's go. Queen 6. Deuce.
Oh, I need a deuce. I need a deuce.
Ace deuce.
Oh no. Ace.
Five.
You could have a flush.
Yeah.
But there's a magic card left. So
Yeah, he could have a flush right here.
yeah.
Yeah, there could be another.
You need 9.
Could have an 8. 8.
Keeps it alive. 4. All right, you're still alive. Let's go. Queen 6.
There's a 6.
This guy's freaking blind.
Set out 6.
This is
Set of
content.
sixes.
Set of 6s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need a
spades.
Spades are good. Spades are good.
Spade.
Another 7 is great
A
too.
9 under there. A 9 under there would be a straight under the mystery card.
Set of 6s.
Wait, no, I got shit.
There's 2 9s out.
Set of
That makes it less.
I got outs. I got outs.
Yeah.
You need a 9.
Spade. Oh, that's not.
7.
Full.
Yeah.
7.
Nah, it's
Six is
he's got the
full.
boat.
It's full.
Ship it.
Going to this last card, we have all sorts of outs, and the 7 looks awesome, but it does not help us. Someone else has pocket 6s, giving him a full house. We don't win the racehorse, but we had a damn good time doing it. I'm having such a fun night. I'm up over $700. I have about $1,200 here. And sitting right behind me was none other than Wolfgang Poker. I got a picture with him and talked to him for a bit. He is an awesome dude. In this hand, we have 7, 9, 10 queen, all clubs, and the bottom board comes 6, 8 jack with 2 clubs. If you know how this game works, you know that I have absolutely nothing and I block all my outs and not some sort of fancy 7-card straight flush. Buckle your seatbelts for the craziest poker hand I have ever played in my whole entire life. Flops come down at King 5-7 and 6 Ace 4 with 2 diamonds. On the top board, we are open-ended with backdoor diamonds, and on the bottom board, we have top 2 with a flush draw. This is a huge flop for us as we have a ton of draws to very nutted hands, but we don't have too much yet and we're going to need some help on some later streets. Facing a bet of $40, there's definitely some merit to raising, but I just make the call expecting to get paid regardless after I hit a turn. 3 ways to a flop, it comes 7 of spades on the bottom and jack of diamonds on the top.
Check.
We now have a nut flush draw on both boards along with a 5 that would give us a straight on the bottom board. I check and the player in the middle goes all in for about $150. The next player to act then re-raises for $400. This is one of the toughest spots I've ever been at the poker table. Not to mention how much mental fatigue I've been facing 7 days into the road trip and 8 hours into this session. I'm thinking about how if I make this call, the river will probably be a very easy decision as I'll either have the nuts or I won't. But I'm also thinking about how a lot of my outs are dirty and how I block a lot of my own outs having the same flush draw on both boards. I'm really leaning towards a fold, but a little voice in the back of my head starts saying that, you know what, you're up big on the night, and how legendary would it be if you made this call and you hit on both boards and took down a $2,000 pot?
I'll go.
160, 163. Side with side action.
River comes the king of diamonds on the top and the 7 of clubs on the bottom. Definitely not ideal, but not the worst cards we could see. We check, and this player then bets $500 into the $1,110 pot. I am not thrilled about it, but it's only $500 to win over $2,000, so I just have to make the call. I show my hand, praying that my flush is good on the top board and he doesn't have a boat.
Full house and a straight. You have a 6. Ace 8. Well, no good.
Nice
Full
hand.
house.
He flips over 5-5-3 for the flopped set and turns straight.
I want to do the fold.
I wanted you to fold, man. I'm sorry. This hurts me more than it hurts you. Is it cool if I take the chips from him? Okay. Yeah, man. Like, I really wish you folded there. I hate doing this. I hate just grab all those. I mean, you played that hand so good. Those AirPods, can I take those too? Is that cool? Oh shit! You got a Camry? Yeah, we'll take that. No, man. Like, really unfortunate spot. Same thing would have happened to me if I was in your shoes. Like, better luck next time, man. This is gonna really hurt me.
100 was the last bet. Yeah. And for the main.
Oh boy. Sheesh, that was a fucking huge one.
Poker can really be brutally unforgiving at times, but it's really all one long session when you play a lot of cash games, and all we can do is just keep our head up and move on to the next one. The very next hand, I end up getting it all in on the turn with trip queens and a flush draw and 2 pair on the bottom board.
Good luck, young buck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Might be going home.
Oh, alright. No more action. Thank you. Can't wait to go home.
I got quads. Quads should take it.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you get half.
We hit a queen on the top board, giving us 4 of a kind, and we're up against pocket 10s, and we do not beat that on the bottom board, but we take half the pot and make a little bit back, but it's getting late in the night. We rack up, and we just quit while we're only slightly behind.
Thank you very much. In for 500, out for 248. About 15 minutes ago, I was up over 1,000, and I played a $2,000 pot, double board bomb pot, and I got scooped for both. I'm not even. I was gonna say I'm not even upset about it, but obviously I'm pretty upset about it. But I mean, that's just when you play double board PLO bomb pots, you accept that you can get scooped at any moment. And I had 2 nut flush draws. I hit one of them, but it paired the board, and I don't know. I don't think I should ever fold there because I'm gonna be chopping a good amount of time. Gross situation. Had to make a big call, and it didn't work out. But still, we're still in decent shape. And I'm hitting the road, heading to El Paso tomorrow. Austin has been good to me. I can't complain. Came to Texas with about 700, and I'm up to about 1,000 now. It would have been real cool to be above 2,000, but on to the next. This is maybe the worst I've ever felt from poker, and it's ridiculous because I was in for 500 and I was out for like 280. I lost like 220, but when you run it up that much and then give it all back, it hurts way more than just initially losing that much. Bomb pots are sick. I am a sick individual for even sitting down at that table. But I don't know. You might be saying you should have quit while you're ahead, but I don't really believe in that. Like, quit when you want to quit. Like, still leaving Texas with near 1,000. I'll have to count when I get back in my room. Still got a big win in Texas and had a great time. Met a lot of cool people. Talked to Wolfgang tonight. He was a great guy. I got McDonald's. Spend $10. That's my tip of the day. After a big loss, get whatever you want to eat and treat yourself. People usually treat themselves after the wins, but you're already happy. Like, treat yourself after the losses if you really want to love yourself. Fuck! El Paso tomorrow.